Hello. Greetings today. As we talked earlier about the elemental spirit and the manifestation of intentions and the element to call forth their entities for the manifestation of a particular intention, we want to do the complete intention table of intentions today so that in a subsequent time we can be able to go into another area of knowledge. So we are welcome to this very great community. My name is Spiritual Jude, and I wish you a very good energy in your endeavor today. We talked about the intention, manifestation of intentions on ambition, anger, astral travel, beauty, business, attraction that I like more like an increase in our wealth. So today we'll talk about safety or maybe birth like giving birth to someone and the safety, how you can summon on this that has to do with safety on a journey on the birth. Then for this very particular intention you summon the entities from the elements of air or of water, which is and this element of water is the kind of work you do on a Monday, which is a Monday, the day ruled by the moon. Okay, so then this is about business success. Business success is like getting your business driving and then doing a little good for yourself, and then in the area you are specialized in, then you have to summon the entities or elements of air. So when you talk about career success, when it comes to career success, there's competitions, there's challenges, there are people who attack and all stuff. So when you are trying to start up on a career, you summon from the element of air. Then when it has to do with career competition, then you talk about the element of fire. So when you talk about clairvoyance, like visions, clairvoyance and developing clairvoyance, like astral travel, trying to read, psychically, then you talk about the element of water, which is like that's why Simon of the spiritual clairvoyance, they use something like a ball of water, some use mirror. Okay, so these are the ways they communicate with entities of this particular elements. Then when you talk about communication, improving your communication, spiritual communication, then you talk about the element of air. Then when you talk about courage, courage, strength, courage to tackle a task, courage to confront a situation. Then you talk about the element of fire. When you want to be creative, increase your creativity in a particular field you are, field of art, field of business, field of art. You want to be creative in what you do because everyone does the same thing and you want to be creative in that particular aspect of what you do. Then you talk about the element of air and fire. So when you talk about discord, like causing trouble, discord, to cause discord, trouble among people, among anything, among enemies, among whatever you desire to intend your focus on, you talk about the element of fire. So when you talk about the to prevent discord, you are causing discord, you talk about fire, like putting fire in a situation. But when you want to talk about dissolving it, like stopping it, like preventing this discord, when you talk about preventing this discord, you talk about the element of air to off this fire, to off a fire. This is about spiritual practitioners, those who are on the spiritual path. So when you want to prevent this fire, you summon these entities from the element of air. But when you want to cause the discord, you want to put the fire on, then summon an entity from the element of fire. Okay, so when you want to promote your dreams, to remember your dreams, you always face west, which is an element of water and air. Air is about communication, astral communication, and then the water is about revelation, clairvoyance, that which reveals that is hidden, like a mirror. Mirror is part of the element of water from the west. Then the water itself is part of it. So these are the elements you want to summon. When you want to talk about duty, performing a duty, to manifest a duty, doing a duty, duty has to do with work, and the work has to do with earth. Work, you have to work, you have to yield something from the earth. So that is what this element is all about. So you want to talk about energy, increasing your energy, the energy of action. Maybe sometimes you're weak, you want to do it right, that wants to increase your energy. You talk about this from the element of fire. Okay, then you want to increase your enthusiasm, like expectation, what you expect from coming. You want to increase your hopefulness. Okay, you talk about the element of air. When you want to establish balance, equilibrium, want to get your foot firm on the earth, on the ground, you talk about the element of earth. Okay, if you're noting this and you're a spiritual practitioner, you can incorporate this in your work. This is a deep point in knowledge you can incorporate in your work, and you see a degree of percentage manifestation in that which you have already known and which you have already been practicing. Okay, then when you talk about developing ethics, logic and ethics, you talk about the element of air. When you want to talk about, when you want to do a right for anyone about examination success, you do it consulting an element of air. When you want to dispel fear, like fear from your body, fear of the unknown, fear of accident, fear of death, fear of this, fear of failure, fear of this, then you summon an element from the part of fire. Then when you talk about increasing fertility, either fertility of your hard labor, for your work, for childbirth and all this, you talk about the element of earth. Okay, when we talk about developing flexibility, maybe you've been rigid in action, in relationship with people, with clients, with this, and with your part and with your spiritual guardians, then you have to summon an angel or an entity from the element of air. You want to improve your fortune, you talk about the element of air. You want to develop friendship, talk about elements of earth. You want to learn about the future so that you see what the future holds, how it affects you, what it's like in your life. You talk about the element of air and water. You want to develop glamour, like to be alluring, to beautify yourself. Like every eye see, you see the beauty inside you. Then you talk about the element of water. Okay, like I said, this person is like a mermaid, like a water spirit. So this is an energy coming from the element of water. We want to develop harmony in your home, in your business environment, in your own peaceful life. You talk about the element of fire and air. So when you want to give healing or develop healing, you talk about the element of fire and air. When you want to improve health, you have health already. When you want to improve the health you have, talk about the element of air. When you want to protect your home, then you have to do it right. That has to do with an energy of earth. Okay? Then honor, acquiring honor is element of air. Improving humor, element of air. Creating illusion, that magical illusion. The more you look, the less, the more you look, the less you see. You consult the element of water. When you want to dispel illusion, you want to see clear of what is hidden in the illusion someone is creating and around the aura, you consult an entity from the element of earth. Then when to develop influence, air. You want to protection on your journey, then talk about air, water, earth. Okay, these are three elements you have to summon when you want protection on a journey, which is by air, if you're making a journey by air, water, if you're going by sea, and earth, if you're traveling on land. Okay, when you want to increase your knowledge, you call on the elements or angels of air. When you want to deal with law, court, orders, and all stuff like that, you talk about the element of air, which has to do with communication, astrally, or earth. Okay, when you want to develop leadership, you talk about elements of fire. When you want to satisfy your lust, early lust, I talk about the element of earth and fire. When you want to improve your improving your luck, you talk about element of air. When you want to obtain or promote love, talk about the element of earth and water. When you want to improve your memory, remembrance, you talk about the element of air. When you want to acquire money, you talk about the element of fire, action, the money comes in. Okay, you talk about the music. We want to talk about music, learning music, improving music. Talk about the element of air. When you want to increase your passion for a particular activity, for a particular endeavor, for a particular career, you talk about the element of fire and earth. When you want to develop patience, maybe you're the kind of person that is hot-tempered, easily angered, easily triggered, then you want to do it right about this to submerge this. Then you talk about earth. When you want to be a patron, obtaining patronage from higher entities, from spiritual forces, guardian angels, then you talk about the element of fire. Then when you want to establish peace in your family, in your home, in your office, or whatever area of endeavor that concerns you, talk about the element of air and fire. If you want to ensure pleasure, maybe you've not been having pleasure. Some people have money, they have it, but they've not been having this pleasure. Then try to summon an entity from the element of earth, okay, that will assist you in obtaining this very manifestation. Then you talk about peace, pleasure, developing practicality, to be practical in your endeavor. Some people have good knowledge of things, but because they can't be practical in things they do, they lack this grounding. Okay, then you talk about if someone an angel from these elements, or use an element formulas that has to do with energies of earth. Okay, when you want to gain promotion in your office or what you do, you talk about the element of fire and air. You want to recover properly from either financial loss, from health, from ill health and other misfortunes, then you talk about the element of air. When you want to be successful in public speaking, maybe you're this public speaking person, maybe your office or your career path entails you speak to the public, or you make this kind of public statements or conferences, and you can overrule that. Okay, then you summon an energy from the element of air, which has to do with your communication. All right. Then when you want to be taking responsibility for actions, for things you do, for things that concerns you, then this responsibility has to do with element of air and water. If you want to increase your self-confidence, then you talk about an element, you talk about using energies, formulas, materials that has to do with element of earth. Okay, that is how you increase it, and also how you develop it. This is energies of earth that does this. Then you want to decrease your sex drive, like maybe you have so much lust, or you always have infatuations, or you're a womanizer, or you're always prone to different, always having this urge, or all this unyielding urge for sex and all stuff. Then you want to decrease it so that you can be sane on the sexual aspect. Then you have to summon an angel or an entity from the element of earth. Okay, but when you want to increase this drive, sex drive, maybe you at the time you don't have feelings, you don't have this, and you don't even feel like you even want to be with another opposite sex, then try to summon an angel that has this very particular gift from an element of fire. Okay, now you want to improve your social skills. Improving your social skills, you talk about the element of air, which is how you communicate with people you meet, and element of earth, which grounds you in that engagement. Okay, then when you talk about increasing your strength, like I said earlier, increasing your strength has to talk about elements of fire and earth. Teaching, like you want to develop teaching to teach people, that people understand you and all stuff like that, then you talk about the element of earth and air. You want to learn, or you want to promote truth. If you're a religious person or a spiritual person and want your truth to be heard, known, and believed, so you do this through the angel that controls this about learning, but you have to summon this very angel or entity through this point of air. All right. Then, if you want to assess the unconscious, like they're assessing the unconscious, that is, say, the unconscious feelings, things you didn't see but you feel it, like, and then you something tells you about instinct and it comes to manifest or not. Then when you want to assess it, whether it is true or not, whether your instinct or your unconscious feelings is right or not, then try to summon an angel that has this gift from the element of water, which is more like doing a psychic reading, clairvoyance, or astral projection. Okay, so this is all done from the element of water, which is the words where you develop your reading abilities, your psychic reading abilities. You want to increase vigor. Vigor is more like energy too. Vigor is more like energy and strength, which is like related to the element of fire, like we have said earlier. You want to improve wealth. Wealth, money comes in from endeavors and things like that. And you want to do a right concerning this. You have to focus on this energy that has to do about wealth. But know that any entity or angel you're summoning must be an angel, an entity that resides in from that comes forth from the element of fire and earth. So you want to strengthen your willpower. Willpower is the energy to put something in motion and try to actualize it. Then you know that this is an energy of fire. So from these points we've stated clearly here, you will know that there are no spiritual work, whether you are an Hindus, whether you're a Christian, whether you're a traditionalist, whether you are an Islamic, whether you are a ritual, a diabolic, in any sect of spiritual practicing you are, whether you use elements, herbs, animal parts, blood, any type of element you do, you know that you can never complete your spiritual work without incorporating these energies of the elements. And until you know which element that has this power or the energy to manifest this very intention, you might be using the wrong forces for an intention, and then you'll be getting wrong results for your point or for your manifestation. So with this in mind, and you put it in pure work and your spiritual work, like I said, it will be rare for me to publish anything that has to do with doing all this herb and all those stuff. Whatever I'm doing right now is to teach you as a practitioner, as someone who is getting spiritually enlightened on the path on how to live your spiritual work clearly and how to get the best of this knowledge. More of this will be coming, and if you put it in work, you will surely see the benefit of it. So you know that more will be coming to you from this very community, and I always wish you good energy. I'm your very good guy, Spiritual Jude. Stay blessed.